Hello, everybody, and welcome to the final day of WOW 11. Today's webinar, New Technology, Wireless Solutions using LTE M, including a customer case from Södra Cell Sweden. It's brought to you as a part of Mobius Connect's Week of Webinar series. And I am Kim Fugger, the manager of Mobius Connect, and I will be the moderator for today's session. Now, before we jump into Hakan Hedlund's loaded presentation here for you, I do want to review some helpful resources with you. The Mobius Connect community is all about you, providing you with the space and technology to connect with the right people and resources to help you solve problems, continue learning, share your experiences. And once you've logged on or created your free profile, you can start connecting with other industry professionals wherever you are in the world and in any language. Mobius Connect's community includes fun features like the industry's live feed, forum discussions, interactive connection finder map, the in direct messaging, customized communication based on your areas of interest, global events, jobs, and news listings. And it's either online or in the mobile app, which is available in Apple and Google Play stores. As you continue your educational journey, you can go on and look at CBM Connect and Reliability Connect. There are hundreds of quick videos, articles, webinars, and interview, a lot which are contributed by Hakan for you to see. All right, this webinar is being recorded and you will be emailed the link to the access of the on-demand webinar after today. And then for those of you just joining us, welcome to New Technology Wireless Solutions using LTE M, including a customer case from Södra Cell Sweden presented by Hakan Hedlund. Hakan, are you there with us?
Yes, I am.
Well, welcome. Also, if anybody does have any questions for Hakan during this presentation, please enter them into the question panel and we will make sure we get those answered for you live on air today. Hakan does have time for questions. And don't worry, we do call out everything anonymously, so you won't be called out directly. All right, Hakan, I'm going to go ahead and pass this presentation over to you now.
Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you for letting me having this webinar. My name is Hakan Hedlund, and I'm a senior application engineer here at the SPM headquarters in Sweden. I've been working at the SPM now for 37 years. Started in the sales department here in Sweden, then moved on as an area manager covering many countries and handling key accounts. I'm a CAT 3 certified vibration analyst. I've also been working quite a lot with lubrication and tribology and so on. During the years, I have also been very much involved in product development and technical and commercial trainings. Nowadays, I'm half-time retired and work mostly with the trainings of our sales force in how different industrial sectors make use of condition-based maintenance to increase their productivity and profitability. So I'm very much interested in that part of our industry. So that was a short intro of myself. This presentation covers how the relatively new technology of LTE M can be used successfully for condition monitoring. Södra Cell that I've for a few years now. The content of this webinar is that first I would like to explain a little how LTE M, what it is and how it works. And then we have the customer case, why they have selected LTE M, and how it's improved their productivity. And then we also have a short technical case, a bearing fault on an electrical motor. And then we end with a Q&A session. And I guess it will take like 35 minutes. Okay. What is LTE M? Well, LTE stands for long-term evolution. And it's a low power wide area network using cellular connectivity standard, and it's specially developed for IoT. And the M stands for that it's built for machine to machine communication. So it's not only used for condition monitoring, it will be used in many different areas. And the LTE M devices can transmit and receive large amount of data without draining the battery. So that's one of the key thing. If you compare it with 2, 3, and 4G networks, this consumes a lot less energy from the battery. So it's specially designed to have long battery lives. LTE M network also offers greater coverage and better indoor penetration. The signal can handle plenty of interference from buildings and other structures that obstruct its path. LTE M will coexist in the same network as other 5G components, like enhanced mobile broadband and critical communication. So the long-term status of these technologies is confirmed. So it really fits into the modern communication world. In addition, LTE M networks provide strong built-in security because they operate within dedicated operator-managed licensed spectrum bands. So this minimizes the risk of interference. The LTE M radio technology also offers the benefits of allowing the remote update of the sensors, for instance, to add new capabilities and security features, and thus ensuring that they stay secure and productive throughout their life cycle. So it has a lot of modern benefits built into it. This is a technical overview how it's working. On the customer side, you have the Area's LTE M sensors mounted on the machines, and they communicate over the cellular network. So you can you can take this device and put it almost anywhere in the world, and it will start communicating over the cellular network, and then transfer the data through Microsoft Azure to the customer side. And this is done in a very secure way. So there is no need for any Wi-Fi or any other communication. So it's very, very easygoing and also very reliable, very secure. Another thing with this communication is that the sensor doesn't have any signal processing built in. The sensor sends all the raw data to a virtual DSP. And in this virtual DSP, that's where all the digital signal processing is done. And the data, which is encrypted, travels to the DSP. And here is where all the calculation is done. So future data processing improvements are made in the software of the virtual DSP. So there's no need to update any software in the sensors themselves. So if we come up with any new functions and features, we just update the software of the DSP. And the signal processing algorithms are the same as in our high-end systems, meaning that you get a lot of intelligence for your money. So it's really, really high-performance sensors or systems, you could say. A little short technical specifications. They support measurement conditions, meaning that you can select when to do the measurements. You can handle and cope with RPM, so you can connect the RPMs to your measurements. You can filter measuring results, and of course you can add on machine fault symptoms. And these sensors, they have a MEMS chips measuring in 3 directions, the vibration in 3 directions, and also temperature. And it's specially made for condition monitoring, so offering a very high quality data and performance in one sensor. It has 2 versions. One version measures up to 1000 hertz, and the other one measures up to 5000 hertz. So in this package solution, we offer a solution together with undamaged. That's a network software provider of secure IoT connectivity with a global LTE M coverage through well-established telecom operators, most of which the global area's LTE M solution supports. So basically, you can use this in most part of the industrialized world. In the Nordic countries, a package solution with cellular network provider Telia is also available. In both cases, the solution includes 3-year cellular connections and sufficient data transfer for 4 measurements per day with a battery power and 24 measurements per day with an external power supply. One important thing with the LTE M sensor is that it fits in like any other measuring device in the condition monitoring ecosystem. It doesn't communicate on its own software. It communicates with the ConMaster entity service like any other systems we have. So the high performance wired online systems, the area's Wi-Fi, or the handheld devices, they all communicates over ConMaster entity server with its functions and features to export data, for example, via API or PC. So for the client, he or she uses one software, and all the data is handled in the same software. So it really fits in very well in the condition monitoring ecosystem. So here's an example how it can work. If you have a modern process industry where you have high-end, high-performance online systems, you have portable systems, you have areas Wi-Fi, for example, inside the factory. But then, for example, on rooftop fans, it can be very practical to use the LTE M because you don't need any Wi-Fi connection up there. Water treatment equipment, pumping stations, hydropower sites, whatever, that are maybe not inside the plant, but close to it. And then, of course, like conveyors, crushers, mobile equipment, it's very suitable for that. So as long as you have mobile coverage, you can use this technology. Security is very important part. The sensor has a eSIM card mounted on the motherboard, locked to a physical sensor. And the sensor communicates through a reserved access point onto the cellular network with a unique access point name. I'm not at all an expert on this, the communication part and the security and so on. So I will jump part of it. If you have any questions, of course, I can handle and forward the questions for you. Okay, let's move on to Södra. Södra is a Swedish company, and the original name is Södra Skogsägarna, and it actually means the southern forest owners of Sweden, and but they cut down the name to Södra, so it means the south in Swedish. It's one of the biggest pine tree pulp producers in the world. They have 3 pulp mills with a total capacity of approximately 2 million metric tons per year. They also have 12 sawmill/wood processing plant, 3,000 employees, 52,000 owners. That's quite a lot. So if you are a forest owner in the south of Sweden, you can become a member of this company. They have a turnover of approximately 2 billion euro. And they also have very long experience of condition monitoring. They started with condition monitoring in the mid-70s, so they are very, very experienced when it comes to condition monitoring and vibration analysis. A few years back, they started something called a digitalization project, meaning that they are very open-minded and working a lot with continuous improvement and looking for new possibilities with new technology. And one of the target was, how can we increase the production through vibration measurements? And that was the main question, or the main target. And they started to do criticality ratings and the monitoring approach. So they decided to A-rated applications. They should be wired with high performance online systems, such as wood chippers, wash presses, pulp dryer, and so on. They should have top of the line online systems. And then they have the B-rated applications. They should go wireless. And the main thing here was to replace manual round measurements. Not so much for replacing manpower, it was for other reasons, I would say. And they will also want to expand the monitored applications. They want to monitor more machines. And it's supplemented by handheld for root cause analysis. So if they have something they want to dig into deeper, they have very advanced portable instrument that they use for root cause analysis, etc. So they organized the central group of competence for condition monitoring that handles all these systems. And digitalization focus is really important in the top management of the company. They always look for ways of improvements. And the customer view, why LTE M or why LTE M? Well, they have large sites with geographically spread operations. They want to get rid of all the Wi-Fi parts. So therefore, Telia in this case, they build up the infrastructure with base stations on every site. So they don't need any Wi-Fi routers in the process environment. So Telia in this case take care of the whole infrastructure. They also tested this, and the battery life is actually about 4 years now, with 1 to 2 measurements per day. And they wanted more measurements, more data. So they want to improve the base for analysis and also for decision making. I would say that's the most important thing. They want to have very, very early detection of the faults. They didn't have many breakdowns or unplanned breakdowns, but when they were out measuring with the portable instruments, they found the faults quite late, because if you measure every month or every other month, if you find something, you don't know the history, how long it has been going on. So that was the major thing, I would say, to increase the degree of planning, to have a better base for the decision what to do. So first year they tried out 50 sensors per site, and the first year of using LTE M in a big scale, they have about 300 sensors per plant. 3 major breakdowns were avoided. And if the problem had not been detected, it would have resulted in losses of about 60 hours of production time. That equals to at least 4,800 tons of pulp. So it was a fairly quick payback time of this investment. Okay, to summarize the main reasons for this digitalization project, very much focus on to increase or the availability. That's the main reason. More tons to sell, higher revenue. The machine should always be in production, always producing full capacity. That's the main reason. And also to increase the pre-warning times, increase the degree of planning, to have very early warning so they can plan the production. As I mentioned, they have very, very few unplanned breakdowns, but the time from they found the fault until they need to repair the machine was a bit short. So that's why they want to increase the degree of planning. So they want to measure pumps, fans, etc. more frequently. So with portable instruments, the machines are measured typically once a month or every other 2 months. But with these new areas, they measure once or twice per day. And also to make sure that the machines are measured on a regular interval. Because if you have people going on vacation or they get sick and so on, they don't have the possibility to measure. So that was another very important thing. And then, of course, to avoid unplanned failures, production interruptions, avoiding secondary damage, and so on. Another very, very important thing is they always look for improvements. And the management thought that it's very important to work more and more with improvements and decrease the routine work. Also, routine work meaning going around measure with a portable instrument on healthy machines. They wanted to avoid that. So, for example, to make the condition monitoring work more interesting, they wanted to avoid boring routine work, going around measuring on healthy machines. They should focus on working more with improvements, for example, being part of new projects, make sure that the condition monitoring aspects are highlighted in these projects, make sure that it's possible to measure on the machines, make sure that it's possible to lubricate and balance and clean the machines, etc. And also, when it's very important machines, to do factory acceptance tests, for example. And after repair and after the machines are started up in a new project, to do site acceptance tests. That's very, very important, because if the machines are constructed in a good way and running in a good way from the beginning, they will last very, very long. So that's a very important thing. Instead of running around measuring on healthy machines, They want to do the right thing, the more interesting thing. But they also want to make it easier to have a more flexible workplace. These sites are not located near a big town. So typically the people working in these sites, they have to travel quite a lot to come to the sites. But with modern technology, they can work from home for a few days a week, for example. That saves a lot of time and a lot of money for the people. So that also makes it easier to keep competent people and also recruiting new staff. So I would say these two last part here is very, very important nowadays. And I know in many countries it's difficult to find good people, and it's also tricky to keep them. But if you are innovative and you are more flexible when it comes to how and when to work, it's much easier to find competent people and also to keep them. So as of now, they have about 1,000 areas LTE M up and running, and they have ordered another 1,000, and they are about to be commissioned now. And their plans is to deploy around 1,000 sensors per year in the coming years. So that's the plan they have. And here you can see one example how it looks like on the machine. You have the areas LTE M sensors, one in the back and one in the front here and one in the back. And they measure the vibration in 3 directions and also the temperature and transfer the data on the regular base. And here's one case, electrical motor, drive side, the enveloping results. And basically you have a 3-month pre-warning time here. So here the readings start to raise, and over here they replace the bearing. So here's a new bearing they are measuring on. If you go in and look on the spectrum, you can see very nice match with the inner rays. And here's a picture of the inner rays. And on this slide here, you can see some statements from Thomas Håkansson, his head of technology development. You can also go to our website and read these statements. There's also a statement here from Telia. Telia is one of the major telecom companies up here in the northern part of Europe. So that's it.
Great. Thank you so much, Hakan. Well, as Hakan has finished his presentation for the day, we are going to go ahead and open it up for the question and answer session. If you do have any questions, please go ahead and enter them now in the question panel and submit them for Hakan to answer. Again, your questions will be aired anonymously, and if we happen to run out of time and don't make it to your question, Hakan will follow up with you after the webinar. And Hakan, while you were presenting, this question came in pretty early on. They're saying that you mentioned that there is no data processing on the center. Yet, is it sending digital data? This is just what they understood. And
Yes.
at least, is there an AD converter integrated?
No. Yes, there's an AD a converter integrated in the sensor. Yes, there is. Yeah. But it's sending just raw data. So
Okay, so it is okay sending the raw data.
yeah, so it's not sending an analog signal. No, it's a digital signal they're transferring.
Perfect. Thank you. Now, you also mentioned that it does work with integrated software that you have, but could somebody use that for their own software, with their own software?
Um, they can export the data from the ConMaster entity server. So all the information we have after the signal has been processed, yes, they can have access to all the data. So, but they cannot connect directly to the sensor.
Oh, great. Thank you. And this person's asking, do the sensors work in extreme heat? And then I would like to add, or cold.
Oh, it works between -20 Celsius up to 85 degrees Celsius. So it's say normal industrial environment.
Great. Thank you. This next question is asking where the cellular boosters repeaters need in the deployment. Do the sensors use any mesh technologies?
No, no, no. It communicates directly with it's like a mobile phone. It communicates directly with a cellular network. So
Okay, thank you. And this question specific to the Sorta cell, does the Sorta system utilize any machine learning AI software?
uh, not that I know of. No, they might do it. That's not to my knowledge. No.
Perfect. Thank you so much for those. Now, Hakan, are there any last points you wanted to make? We have covered most of the questions coming in, but if anyone does have any questions as we're closing, we will make sure to get those directly to Hakan for answering. I personally know he is great at following up. And Hakan, if anybody wanted to reach out to you directly, how would they find you? On LinkedIn, via email?
Via email, that's the best. So
All right. What is your email if you don't mind mentioning that?
Hakan.Hedlund at sbminstrument.com. .se, sorry, .se. But you can also always contact our local SBM distributors. We have them spread out all over the world. So
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you so much for your great presentation, going directly into the LTE M with your case study also that you did provide. All right, as we close
okay then.
things up, yes, as we close things up today, you guys, we want to spend a special thank you for attending WOW 11. We are pleased to present you with 50% off your conference pass to the CBM and Reliability Live Training Conferences happening in Mexico in a few weeks in August and Australia later in November. You can use the code WOW50 to reserve your seat and take advantage of this discount. The events include certificate training opportunity, hands-on workshop, and some case study sessions. You can visit mobiusconnectconference.com to learn more about these live and in-person events, and you'll find a link to register in a follow-up after this webinar. And next, coming up, we do have is IIoT, really the future of condition monitoring. This is going to be hosted by Ed Spence and Dr. David Howard, up today from 10 to 11 Eastern. So if you haven't already signed up for this session, you can go right to your attendee hub and join right away. You don't actually have to sign up, but if you do want a full list of all the upcoming presentations that we have for the rest of the day, please visit us on LinkedIn at Mobius Connect to see the full last day of WOW here. And just as a quick reminder, look out for an email from us containing the on-demand version of this session for your certification of attendance. And we are so excited to share with you the official WOW 12 date, January 22nd through the 26th of 2024. Join us as we have another jam-packed and exciting WOW, exactly like WOW 11. And if you would like to participate as a speaker for WOW 12, please email our team at info@mobiusconnect.com. And again, if you are interested in engaging with other industry professionals or would like to participate on the industry's live feed and forum on Mobius Connect, visit mobiusconnect.com to create your free profile. Make sure you follow us on all of the social media platforms at Mobius Connect to stay up to date with the latest community happenings. Again, if you have any questions at all about this WOW or any you would like us to make a connection with Hakan, please email our team at info@mobiusconnect.com. Thanks again for joining us. Have a great day. Please stay safe, and we will see you all next time.